I'm gonna go get a job, you guys. I got all my resumes. Let's go. I had to treat myself. I've been walking hard. All right, I just got back. I just calculated the time and I was out there for 4 hours, walking straight for 4 hours. I didn't even wear my watch, but I could see if my phone told me how much I walked, if it was accurate. I think it went pretty well. I'm definitely exhausted, man. I don't know what's worse, online or on foot. They're both bad. I walked 5.7 miles. I'm just gonna take a guess that's maybe like 7 or 8 or 9 Ks. I don't really know exactly, but I'm hot. It got hot out. It's so hard to keep the papers from wrinkling because I was holding the stack of papers. So I was able to hand my resume to 10 places. A lot of the disability places, like you couldn't find the front door to the office for some reason. So a lot of them I wasn't able to like apply for via in person. And then I stumbled on this like tour kind of company, and he told me like, oh, here's the QR code and you send in like a video interview application. So I might try to do that. I'm gonna look into that one. And then a lot of the disability places I would go in and they'd be like, yeah, we don't hire that like care supporter person here. So it's just like really confusing. But the restaurant jobs were a little bit more understandable. But the thing with the restaurant jobs is like they were picky. They're like, how long are you planning on staying? And do you have your ASL? No, ASL? I don't know what it is. It's the alcohol serving permit. And they were like, do you have bartending and serving experience? Like they're very strict. They probably get a lot of turnover from visa people. But yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But the good news I found out is the diving internship where they literally certify you through PADI reopened. It like closes and reopens like right away. So I handed him my resume anyway. The guy wasn't the nicest. So I'm like, you know, I hope he puts in a good word for me and actually gives my resume to somebody. But otherwise, I'm just going to go back online and apply again. Man, apply. This world is just a big circle of the same thing over and over again. It's just weird. So weird. I don't know what I'm going to end up working or doing. I'll keep you guys updated, but right now I need a BREAK, a break. Okay, I just did the Happy Travels virtual interview, and oh my gosh, they ask you some random questions, which I'm like, this is testing something that I don't know. They asked you to name 3 consecutive days without using like Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, or Wednesday, it just like skipped. So you literally couldn't name 3 consecutive days. So what I thought of was November 13th, 14th, and 15th. I think that counts as an answer. They also said, how would you describe the color yellow to somebody who was blind? I was like, okay, all right, let me think. Feelings, emotions. I was like, warm, soft, like the color of my hair, they can feel it, it's yellow. What else did they ask? They asked what are 3 promises if the boss made to you that you would want them to make at this job? They also said, if you could tell your old boss one thing to do better, what would it be? I said to calm down. I said not to stress out so much. It's just like there were so many tricky questions in there, but it was actually not a bad interview because like you would click the video, the guy would basically ask you a question and he's recorded already, and then you would get like 30 seconds to think about your answer, and then you would hit and it would go and record your answer. But wow, really interesting kind of interview. I've never done anything like that before, but now it's time to relax for that BREAK. Why? Because it's an Australian. Oh, and he also asked what is something like funny that happened to you recently. So I told them the story about me trying to buy alcohol at a grocery store, and they laughed at me when I showed them my ID. Because you could do it in the States, no problem. All right, you guys. The moment you've all been waiting for. How much did this trip cost me? You don't want to know. It'll make you never want to come here. But also remember, I didn't budget it to the best of my abilities. I literally was treating myself quite a bit on this trip. All right, let's get comfortable. So, just to let you guys know, this was about 55 days worth of traveling. And yeah, almost about 2 months of being in Australia. I have everything in USD, but at the end I told you the Australian amount of the total price. So I'm just gonna start off reading what I wrote down. The flight and bag insurance was $1,790. That was a lot. That was the most expensive flight I've ever booked. Then I got an international driver's license, which I really don't think I needed at all, which was $33. Health insurance, I got $73 a month. I think they've only charged me once though, so I don't even know if I'm insured with my health right now. Passport photos, I got extra ones, $12. Then I didn't know there was a weight capacity on carry-on bags when I got to Australia. So I had to check all 3 of my luggages because they were all overweight. So check the weight limit because in the States there's no weight limit. I shoved those things in the carry-on compartments, no problem. So I had to pay $129 to check all 3 of my bags unexpectedly. I was Ubering around Brisbane quite a bit while I was trying to buy a car. So that cost me $91 total. Telstra is the phone plan that I got, and I just keep like re-adding data to it. I think I should probably get like a yearly plan though, or monthly plan to save money. That was $70. Printing, so cheap, only cost me $6. I've printed quite a few times, printing out my resumes and stuff. Gambling, when I was hanging out with Mason, he's like, we got to go to the pokies, so I only spent $6 gambling. I ended up winning like 20 bucks back, and then I lost it all, so I lost $6. Not too bad, actually. The car, the 2011 Kluger Toyota was $10,129. That's not too bad. Honestly, if I was in the States and I bought a 2011, it would probably be like $15,000 to $20,000. And this one didn't have a lot of miles on it, and it was really, really well kept. Car insurance is about $153 a month. I got full comprehensive coverage because I'm a new driver in Australia and I have had my car stolen before, so I didn't want to have no insurance on that. Gas, $784. I need to tell you how many miles I drove. Let me look. Okay, so I drove about 4,500 kilometers. So it's about like 2,700 miles. Yeah, I think it was about 2,700 miles. And then I drove all the way up to Port Douglas, which I think is about like 21 hours or so of a drive. Linked is the toll roads in Brisbane. I paid $16 for that, probably unnecessary because I think I only used one toll road. So it's kind of like you prepay and it's just on your account now. For food, I paid $1,186. I like to eat, and I ate out quite a lot in the beginning before I realized how much money I was spending. Shopping, so this is like gifts, but mostly shopping for like stuff like toiletries, camping material, and stuff like that. $460. Dang, and it wasn't even on clothes. Like it was on like car parts and like stuff like that, like necessity stuff. Laundry, $12. Make sure you always have coins on you because a lot of the laundry is just coins only. So make sure you have $1 and $2 coins. Laundry's expensive out here, I feel like. One of them was like $8 for the washing machine and $8 for the drying machine. So if you're not used to hanging up your clothes, get used to it. You're going to save some money that way, and it's eco-friendly. The mattress I bought, like this camping mattress, it was $45, Facebook Marketplace. Camping stove, $41. Facebook Marketplace, it has 3 stoves on it. Showers, $1. I had to pay for a shower at this free campsite once. So I'm like, well, if the campsite's free, I guess I'll pay for the shower. But you could only shower for 4 minutes with hot water. And then the rest would be cold water, but you would still have to add $2 more or $1 more. So I took a 4-minute shower as fast as I could, and that hot water felt really nice. Church, I donated some church money, so $63 there. It's because I only had 50s on me in Australian dollars, and I'm like, well, they're gonna give $50, and I don't mind giving because I have been lacking in that department. House sitting, oh, I had to pay for a website for house sitting. It was $77 for the year just to be a member, and I think this was like trustedhousesitters.com, and then I applied for one and they're like, yeah, we don't need you. So I'm like, great, I just wasted that money, but I'm gonna keep applying and looking for those kind of sites or jobs. RSA is my liquor license. That was $16, and a really embarrassing video that I had to role play. All right, tours, Stradbroke Island was $110. Morton Island was $155. The Mount Tambourine Night Glowworm Tour was $70. The Australia Zoo, I'm just including that in the tours, $42. Fraser Island was $167. Feeding Wild Dolphins was $6 at Tin Can Bay. The Whitsundays was $122. The Billabong Sanctuary was $50 with the koala pictures. Scuba diving was $265. That was the most expensive. And then the Daintree Rainforest was $111. So in total tours, I paid $1,098. I don't know if that's good or bad, you guys. I'm just telling you. And then this is the crazy part. The hotels, or the accommodations. So I started off in hotels. For a total of 6 nights, I paid $564, okay? Airbnbs, 9 nights total, $444, which is better. And then hostels, 7 nights total, and that was $557. And then camping, 23 nights total of camping, and I only paid $25 total. Some of them were free, some were super cheap. I definitely recommend camping, sleeping in your car, or buying a tent. If you bought the King's rooftop tent, that's probably going to be a couple $1,000s or more. So I didn't do that. I just slept in my car, and it was actually fine because the weather was not too hot yet. So the total cost of my trip up until this day, 55 days, was $17,881. And in Australian dollars, that's $28,096. Oh my gosh. So, I don't think I should be the one giving you advice on traveling, first of all. But if you've been watching my YouTube videos, you've seen that I have definitely done some cool stuff. So, it's kind of like all worth the money in a way. You don't have to do all the stuff I did, and you can definitely get cheaper accommodation. I think that's where I was lacking, and also the food. Like, I was eating out a lot when I first got here because I really wanted to experience what their food was like. And then I just realized I need to grocery shop. Also, when you're camping, like, I didn't have a stove at the same time. Like, my stove wasn't working, so I was never cooking, so I was just eating out a lot. So if you really want to save money, definitely have all that planned out so that you are able to get the cheapest way of life. Gas, there's an app called Petrol Spy. I Spy Petrol or something. And that one tells you the cheapest gas stations or petrol stations or servos. So I've been using that app. The tours, they're all worth it. Like, yeah, they're all a little bit expensive for sure, but they're all worth it. I enjoyed every single one of my tours that I did. You learn so many fun facts about the history and the culture and the nature of wherever you are, and all the tours were fun. Like, the people on them were fun. I met amazing people from all over the world, and the tour guides were all really fun too. Then as far as, I don't know, the flight, definitely book your flight earlier rather than later, because I kept waiting for the prices to drop and they only kept going up. So I think I could have gotten my flight cheaper, maybe like more $1,500. And definitely check the weight limits on your bags if you are going to travel. because that really threw me off, and I almost missed my flight. So if you're flying into Sydney, make sure your layover is more than 2 hours, because mine was 2 hours and I almost missed my flight. Completely almost missed it. It was a frantic panic. I got lost in the airport. And yeah, that's my trip. So sad to say it's come to an end. And now I will be budgeting on a separate blank page so I don't have to look at how much I just spent, because I need to work now. I need a job, you guys. So wish me luck. I hope this helped you. I hope you want to travel to Australia. It has been so eye-opening. My mind is so open. I'm so exposed to all these new things. And I would say the biggest part of my trip was becoming a friendlier person. Like, I became much more open to talking to strangers. Like, way more open to just meeting people and learning and hearing about their travels. I don't know. I just became like braver, you know, when you fly across to another country as far away as your country or from your country, you become brave. You become a brave soul when you leave your home country and fly 20-something hours to the other side of the world by yourself. And you buy a car and you drive 20-something hours over the course of 55 days. You become a brand new spanking person. So love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll just keep you updated. The next few videos might be a little slower because I'm probably not going to be doing as much adventurous stuff. But if you want to stay updated on my life and my future job, whatever that may be, and future friends and future plans, stay tuned. Love you guys.